Hey guys, what is going on? It's Simon here from Get Into Crypto. And in today's video, I wanted to take a quick look at some of the blockchain related stocks. So the reason why I'm interested in some of these stocks is because here in the UK, I use what they call a lifetime ISA. So I'm not currently a homeowner. I'm trying to get on the property ladder, and the UK government have this lifetime ISA whereby not only is it a tax wrapper, but you also get a deposit bonus. So, for example, if you maximise the allowance, which is £4,000 a year, the government will actually give you an extra £1,000 each year maximum to then be able to put to a property. So the withdrawal conditions are that you have to withdraw and either put the funds towards the first property, or if not, you have to take the funds upon retirement, and you're not allowed to withdraw without putting the funds into a property, or else you face a 25% penalty. So pretty much you lose your bonus and then some. So what this means is, of course, I can't directly invest in Bitcoin through this lifetime ISA, but obviously, being a huge fan of cryptocurrency, I want to try and get exposure to crypto through my ISA. And the way I can do this is through crypto stocks. So I've got a few stock tickers up here, and I wanted to go through a few of them. So the first one I was going to start with was Microstrategy, because I mean, obviously it's the company that's making all the headlines at the moment, and we can see an absolutely explosive move here from obviously the let's call them the pandemic lows up to the recent high. So yeah, you're talking. Let's just measure this. Yeah, so you're talking over 300%. Obviously, just putting a fib retracement on this, immediately I can kind of see that a level that I'm quite interested in, which is this 225 level, because this is the level that actually was the multi-year high before we broke out a couple of months ago. So let's just take a look. So yeah, we broke through even last month, sort of early November, mid-November, we took it out, and yeah, since then we've come back, we've consolidated, and we seem to be sat around this 0.23 fib, which is not the strongest fib. I think what I'm really looking for is some consolidation in Bitcoin. So if you've watched my latest Bitcoin video, you'd know that I'm currently looking for a bit of consolidation, and then at some point to see some sort of pullback in Bitcoin down to around 20,000, which could coincide with a move in MicroStrategy stock, as MicroStrategy is now practically a Bitcoin ETF. So you've got this very close correlation now going on with the Bitcoin price, and if we did get back down to where I kind of really like us to get down to, which would be the 618, you're looking at about a 35% drop. Now, I don't know whether that will happen or not. The only reason I think that MicroStrategy could be more volatile than Bitcoin is the fact they are leveraged in terms of the Bitcoin. So they've actually sold, or they've raised capital by offering notes to shareholders to then be able to purchase more Bitcoin. So in effect, this increases their gearing, and this means that they could actually perform in terms of a rate of change at a higher degree than how Bitcoin would perform. So say, for example, if Bitcoin has a 20% pullback, I would expect MicroStrategy maybe to have a 30% pullback. Alternatively, if Bitcoin goes up 20%, I'd expect MicroStrategy to go up, 25, 30, 40% maybe. So yeah, so I don't think these prices, especially on a spike, are completely out of the cards. It could be that we actually come back and we look to hold maybe the 20-week MA, a bit similar to what Bitcoin is, and obviously this 0.5 fib retracement lines up very nicely with this 225 level. So I mean, coming back here is going to be about another 25%. I think that's likely. I think that's possible. So this is personally the level that I'm looking at to get involved on MicroStrategy. If I just talk through a couple of others that I actually hold for full disclosure. So I was picking up Canaan when it was down around the $2 mark. We saw a really nice move up to around 7, and then they came out with some really bad earnings. So, or at least the market didn't like what they heard. So, yeah, sort of crazy, really. Sort of judging what Bitcoin has done, but we pulled back 55%, and now we seem to be reversing now that Bitcoin has cleared 20k. And I was getting back into this, so I was selling some on the way up. I went down to a very small position, about 20% of what I originally put in, and then I got back in at about 375, so around about this level. So starting to move back on side now. And to be honest, yeah, with Bitcoin looking strong, and obviously, you know, crypto doing what it's doing, then I would be surprised if we don't get back up and sort of challenge these highs, and probably take these highs out over the next year. So I'm personally happy to hold the Canaan stock for the next few months, and you know, I really won't be looking to take profits for a little while. I mean, if we just do the fib retracement on this move, then we'll actually see we've got a sort of extension target here, or a retracement target here on the 1618 around 9.6, and obviously that is going to be just below psychological resistance of around $10. So that could be a natural place for the price to head on its way back up. And what else did I see? And yeah, the 2618 is all the way up above the IPO price, which I think is definitely possible over the next year, with Bitcoin taking a crazy run, which would be a pretty cool 230% gain. So yeah, Canaan is one I like. It's one I've got myself. The other one I've been quite heavily into is RIOT Blockchain. So I was getting involved towards the end of the summer, sort of around the $3 mark, just below the $3 mark, I think was my average. And since then we've exploded. So similar to Canaan, I was starting to scale out throughout the first part of this month, and I saw this pullback, and I was thinking to myself, look, should I put a bit more in here, or should I actually wait for a deeper retracement? I mean, if we just look at the fib retracement here, just going back this year, then I was really, what have I done? Let's just put this on. I've done it again. Yeah, so I was really looking for a deeper pullback. I would have loved us to have come all the way down here, and I was expecting that maybe this could happen if Bitcoin saw that, you know, 30-40% correction back to its 21-week MA, but that's never happened. That's not happened, and yeah, it looks to me as if you know, we're looking quite strong here, and we might consolidate a bit up here, but looks like we've got a little bit of sort of divergence creeping in here. We haven't managed to really push through this high, and price has now started to come back. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether these MAs support the price. But certainly, just going from the top down to say the 618 is going to be about half the value. It might not go that low. It might just sort of whip below this low here, and try and create a little bit of a bear trap and then rotate. So, and that would be about 30%. So I'm going to be looking. I'm really, to be honest with you, if this gets down to the 382, then I'm going to be looking to start to add to my position, but I still have a bit of RIOT left. So yeah, it's looking like a good one. You can compare this to the Canaan chart, and you can see how much stronger RIOT's looking. So yeah, it's one of those that I'm not thinking about selling anymore anytime soon. And if we just go on like a longer term chart, then I mean, this is where we were at last time we were at 20K. So, you know, are we going to see something like this repeat? I see another 300% move. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. If it feels like this is kind of like almost like a prelude, like a mini breakout, and then we're going to get to see something a lot more explosive, probably in the latter part of next year. So yeah, I can see RIOT definitely coming back up to previous all-time highs. I know this was a lot of hype, but we have to expect that again. We have to expect history to repeat itself within this next bull market. So yeah, you know, why can't it? And then we've got this blockchain stock called ARGO. So I don't know too much about ARGO. I just discovered them the other day. The fact they were listed in the UK was quite appealing to me, and I noticed that I'm able to buy them from my provider that I have my LISA with. So yeah, we are on a little bit of a reversal here. Weekly 9, bit of a wick to this candle. So it remains to be seen whether you know, we can push on and take this out. Of course, this is a lot of this is going to be correlating on what Bitcoin does, and you know, for that reason, I am expecting consolidation, and like I say, at some point, I am expecting some sort of pullback. So I think around you know, the sort of 10.5s to 11 p. This will be with it being listed in the UK. It's quite a nice target. That would be, you know, around about this uh, resistance, which has now flipped to support. So I think getting in around 10p is going to be good. Anything under that for me would be a bit of a bonus. And yeah, it's certainly a stock that's on my watch list. But yeah, it's another one of these ones that's really in wait and see mode. We have an open gap here as well, which I would expect will get filled at some point, and then it's a question of whether we come down straight down here, or whether we continue to sort of chop around if Bitcoin does consolidate. And then the other one I've added is Hive. So this one is listed in Canada. I don't know, again, a huge amount about this stock. I've never had a position in this stock. However, it has been the most explosive of the lot, and I certainly wish I had known a bit more about this stock, because yeah, it's really looking good. Just one interesting thing I have noticed is that if we look at the previous peak in this stock, you see we actually peaked out back in October of 2017, and in November we were actually coming off a fair bit. And obviously this is in contrast to what Bitcoin did, and is in contrast to stocks such as RIOT that peaked at the end of December. And I don't know, did we have ARB around then? No, we didn't. And we didn't have Canaan. So it's interesting to see that we peaked a lot earlier this on the last cycle, and maybe there's a reason for that I don't know, that I need to maybe go and look into. But yeah, just an interesting observation. Maybe this is actually a stock that likes to front run the Bitcoin price and front run the rest of the market. But it's just worth noting we're coming into a bit of resistance here. So I think coming down to the daily, again, my favorite tool for these you know, volatile stocks is the fib retracement, to look for levels to get involved. And immediately, just looking down here, we can see we've got this open gap. Just below this gap is the 50% retracement, and then the 0.618 is you know, just almost on this breakout point. We saw a fair bit of resistance and consolidation here before breaking out, so it could come back down and retest that level. That wouldn't surprise me at all. So yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there in terms of the crypto stock wrap up. So like I say, if you are sort of investing from the UK and you're into crypto like myself, and you have access to an ISA or a LISA that you can't buy crypto with, but you want some crypto exposure, these are a great way to get crypto exposure. Certainly my LISA and ISA, I've got both products, have had the best performance that they've probably ever seen in such a short period of time, primarily thanks to some of these crypto stocks. So yeah, I would say I'm around about 50% in cash right now, and I'm going to be looking for entry points over the next few weeks and months. So not financial advice at all. Please do not make any decisions based on what I'm saying or what I'm doing. Always do your own research. But I think, yeah, some of these are looking very interesting. And I think just really based on the timing and looking at where we are in Bitcoin cycle, I would expect the majority of the stocks here to do very, very well over the next 12 months. So I'll wrap it up there. If you like the content, please help the channel and like this video, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.